We have a lot of animal options here on About That Time.
I swam with those things and sharks in Dubai, bro. I did it in Dubai in the Shark Tank.
That's fun.
In the giant, like the biggest aquarium in the world.
I went there.
Whoa. I'd do it again. That was the most fun.
Mary Jane, good afternoon. Once again, it's About That Time. I'm your host, Noah Rubin, and once again, we couldn't be more excited. We have a very special guest today. He is the one and only Amer. He is a comedian. He's been touring the world with Dave Chappelle. He has a new Netflix special called The Vagabond, and he's chilling right here with Mary Jane on About That Time. Thanks so much for coming through, sir.
Yo, man, thank you for having me. This is exciting. Look at all this.
First
penguins,
penguins. We broke out the penguins. We broke out the stingrays. We broke out Bowie the cat. Mm-hmm. We're gonna break out the weed too.
I mean, I hope that's tobacco because that is all I smoke.
Facebook censors, FCC censors, Instagram censors. All you need to know is that whatever's being smoked is definitely legal.
It is
for
very
sure.
legal.
There's no one that has any issues with anything that we do on the show. We keep it clean for the kids.
That's why we have all the animals, is for the kids.
It's like a demented sort of reality in which we live. It's definitely...
Mom, I can watch this. There's a penguin and a cat and a stingray floating around. It's going to be just fine.
I think that should be our new tagline. Mom, I can watch this.
Just have Taylor Swift just go through every once in a while. Just jogging through the screen.
I think that Taylor Swift is good family-friendly entertainment.
Not in my family.
No, is that too much? They're not down with the Tay-Tay?
No, I don't think my Arab mom is like, oh, Taylor Swift, okay, Taylor Swift. Yeah.
Does your mom get down with music, like any American music?
My mom is like constantly living in a space of hyper realness. Okay, she has no time for this music. The world is ending.
Oh,
you
really?
need to pray all the time and take care of your soul, and that's where it needs to be.
Wow, that sounds high anxiety.
And also
right
Family Feud for sure.
So Family Feud, prayer, and anxiety around the apocalypse.
Look, immigrant parents love nothing more than game show hosts. They know that's their celebrities. Like when my mom found out I was touring with Dave Chappelle, initially she was like, okay, you know. She was like, I was like, Mom, this is a big thing. You know, it started, it's amazing. And she was like, okay, tell her Steve Harvey or Wayne Brady or maybe Pat Sajak. She would lose her mind.
Right. That's her hierarchy is like, are they hosting daytime TV?
It was. I had to like, you know,
got her in the zone.
Adjust the frame.
But now she's pretty psyched, I'm sure. Now that she gets what the movement's all about.
Oh, she's incredible. She totally gets it. I'm obviously joking. Some joking, not joking happening currently right now.
We've all been there.
But when my mom saw me at Radio City Music Hall with Dave, and the first night it was Jon Stewart made a surprise appearance. Chance the Rapper was booked to co-headline with Dave. Hannibal Buress was also on the lineup, myself. It was just an insane thing for my mother to witness. She's never... Like, the only time she saw me do stand-up before that was at some hall, like, 12 years ago outside of San Antonio, and now she's seen me at one of the most prestigious venues in the world with some of the greatest artists that she also respects, like Jon Stewart, she knows, and so it was just a beautiful thing. That was the turning point, for sure.
Where she was like, I get what my son's up to.
She was just like, oh, my God, now I see it.
But there was I'm guessing a period where she was like, what the...
I mean, from an Arab family, like everybody's just like doctors, engineers. I mean, this is kind of stereotypical to kind of go down that line. But really what the bottom line is that education is paramount. For you to get your education creates a, you know, revenue stream for you and a career so you can be taken care of so your parents don't have to worry about you. It's completely understandable and super rational. And for us, though, for me in particular, to have grown up in America, came here when I was 9 years old. I fled the war in Kuwait, ended up in Houston, Texas, shout out H-Town. And when I ended up in Houston, it's just a different dynamic. Grew up differently, was introduced to different things, and I found my calling, which is stand-up comedy.
Now tell us a little bit more about that process. How did you find comedy?
Well, I went to the At 10 years old, my family wanted to take me out to kind of like change the vibes. And, you know, it was a tough time for us at the time. My mother hasn't, you know, come to the States yet. I've been without her. It's just a massive life change was happening. So we went to the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, and they were showing the two bands. There was one band, Alabama, and it was co-headlined with Bill Cosby, which obviously his name is very taboo. And currently, this if everything that's transpired is very sad. However, I was introduced to the art form that day, watching him in front of like 70,000 people. I was just blown away. I was like, oh my God, I don't know what this art form is, but I need to be doing it. So that's when I decided I wanted to do stand-up.
I love that. Well, I mean, it seems like on a day like that, it could have gone a bunch of ways. You could have also become a bull rider.
Yeah.
You know, there was other options, but comedy was the one, you know, like bull rider, udder. You could be like an udder massager. You could massage some udders.
That is so funny. I never thought about that.
You know, like a lucky.
Can you imagine? I'm sitting there just seeing him just ride that bull. I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do. I found it. I'm gonna ride a bull to the championship. And
you wouldn't be the only person who felt that way.
It'd be a pretty cool rom-com. You know, Muhammad becomes an elite bull rider. He falls in love with the owner's daughters.
You know, the owner's daughter. I think so.
There's
usually like a pageant, some kind of thing that occurs at the rodeo too. I bet Miss Rodeo, Miss Livestock 2017 or whatever.
No, I don't like where this rom-com is going. I'd rather her be like a vet, you know?
Oh, that's kind of sexy,
You know,
like a
vet,
educated, stable lady.
Yeah, that would
She has some like hot glasses, and the glasses come off, and the hair comes down, and it's a whoa.
We can do that to just sell it. I get it, but for just to go on the next level, I would say that it would be a situation where, you know, she doesn't want to be with a guy that rides bulls, you know, for instance. You know, she's an educated woman. She's a vet, and she thinks it's stupid, and she shouldn't be raising it. Let's write the script.
I think we've already sold. I mean, we don't even need to write the script. We just sold it.
That's it.
Let's just we'll take out this clip. We'll send it to the agents. It's sold. It's
Muhammad the bull rider.
Yes, Muhammad and the bull.
Muhammad and the bull.
Hollywood will eat that up. Hollywood, you're not even ready for the ideas we're cooking.
God.
About That Time is a place of innovation. Today, I think our innovation is on 10.
She like rolls up on him, and he's just eating hummus with carrots. You know what I mean? And just waiting to ride. I don't know where this is going.
I think it's going straight to the top. I think it's becoming box office gold.
It's hard not to look at the screen.
Well, it's all our friends are here hanging out with us. We've got Bowie the cat. We've got our penguin. We've got Anything But Steve, the manta ray. So, you know, we have friends, and they chill with us. They're called the Critter Clique.
Okay.
You know, and they're our critters. They chill with us. You know, they do their thing. Do you have critters in your life? Do you have a house pet, or?
We have 3 cats.
Okay.
Chester, who's an outdoor cat, who has an amazing history of survival and perseverance.
That's what it takes to be an outdoor cat.
To say the least. Yeah, especially when you get run over by a car. I mean, that was like one of the. I ran over my cat by accident.
It happens to the cat owners. That's you know.
It was horrific.
Reasonable.
It was horrific. I pulled out of the driveway, see my cat fighting for its life, and I'm in horror, and I just start going through all kinds. I started praying. I was like, oh my God, I thought the cat's dead, man. The cat is dead. Just sitting there. I call my neighbor. My neighbor thinks I'm fighting. You know, we're having an argument at the house. That's what he thinks. He's trying to stay out of it. I was like, no, man, this is what happens. This is horrible. Please help. You know, my stepdaughter's inside. This is going to be a horrible situation. I don't want her to come out and see this. This looks like a Breaking Bad scene. It's awful. It looks awful. All right. I know this is dark right now, but I'm telling you, there's light at the end of the story. So I think the cat's dead. He puts a blanket over it. He grabs it. Brad leaves. I call my other neighbor. He's helped me clean the murder scene, the accidental murder scene. It was really sad and depressing. I'm in tears. I was like, this is gonna be awful. How am I gonna tell this to my family that cat's dead? This is awful. And then Brad calls me like, I don't know, 30 minutes later. He's like, hey man, I think you need to call the vet. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, just call the vet. I said, okay. Call the vet. The vet's like, yeah, your cat's still alive. I was like, huh? It's like, cat's still alive. I was like, bro, I have the hose, you know, in my hand cleaning this horrific scene. He says, the cat's still alive. I was like, how could you mean the cat's still? Come see what I'm looking at. I think there's brains here. This is not good. And I go in an hour later, and he's in an incubator. He's still struggling. He's looking at me like, man, fuck you, man. You ran over me. This is not really, why'd you do this? And we look at a X-ray of the cat, and apparently had no broken bones. Chester
or a CAT scan. Would that still be a CAT scan?
It's not. They can't do that. So they said that there's no broken bones in his skeleton, and we can't do a CAT scan on a cat. So he said,
ironic. I would say that of life's ironies, that could be it.
He said if the cat's, makes it through tonight, come and get it. I think it'll make it. That's the only way we can know if there's no bleeding in the brain. So he said you have basically 3 days. So he spent the night in the incubator, brought him home, and he said if the cat eats the next morning, you're good. He's doing great. So that's what happened. The next morning, he's in my office. He gets up, put a can of food. He comes, he's just hobbling. He's high as shit. This cat's on so many drugs. It's a fractured nose. And he comes up and he eats right away. When I was on the road touring, I would call the house. And I can't tell you how many people would visit Chester. This cat had more visitors than the entire, some people would have in a hospital stay.
Chester has the love. That's the
Chester
secret to
has the love.
survival.
Everybody knows him in the neighborhood. He's our
survival.
Garfield. This guy is our Garfield. He'll bring us all kinds of food all the time, catches that he'll get, and he's surviving. He's still he plays fetch. I mean, who does that? What cat does that? Tell me what cat does that.
That's a special cat.
Special cat.
Shout out to Chester, the special cat. He's part of the larger critter clique.
That's right. I don't know where this is. I thought it was. Can you imagine? Cat surviving that?
No, that's insane.
Really, it's surviving.
Absolutely.
And he's doing great. The guy's killing it.
Also, I think you've set up the romantic establish for the new film Muhammad and the Bull. Because the opening scene is you run over your cat, you go to get the cat repaired, you meet this woman who's taking care of Chester. It sparks the relationship, then the conflict with the bull.
That's it.
All right, guys, we have Act 1 in the can, already written on today's episode of About That Time. Mary Jane, thank you so much for connecting with us today. Mo, we like to make sure the folks out there know what's going on with you. We show some flicks from your Instagram. You tell us what's going on.
All right, go for it.
All right, we got one from the Instagram today. This is a legend, 2 Chainz, Mr. T.I. You guys are posted up. What's going on here?
Well, it was actually, so this is the Roots Picnic, just to give people some background.
Shout out Roots Picnic.
Dave was hosting. This is Dave's Chappelle's trailer, and everybody's just hanging out, during the picnic. It's pouring outside. I show up earlier. I get this cigar, some crazy wrap cigars, like really pretty good weed. Smoke it, and then I save the rest, and then we're just chilling. I'm just having a good time, and then I try to offer 2 Chainz the cigar that I have, the last little bit of week, because it's really good. Well, apparently, when I gave T.I. just had to smoke it, he said, no, 2 Chainz said, no, I'm good. T.I. grabs it, he takes a hit off of it, and he was like, this is terrible, right? This is like really bad. And then after he says it's terrible, I'm embarrassed, I don't know how to reply. I was like, hold on a second, did I just give him a raw cigar? I thought I was gonna weed. It should taste awful, like second, third smoke. Why did I do this bad decision? They go in on me. I say a comment that doesn't make sense at all. Boom, knocked me. I mean, they just roasted me. And I was just now by myself, just staring into the sky and imagining how that could have gone a little bit better.
I feel you on that.
They ran. I couldn't come back from it.
That's a tough L.
So I was just there.
You're like, I'm just that guy.
My face looks so funny there. It's so funny.
It's true. Sometimes we're that guy. But, you have no problem chilling with legends, as we see from this next flick. You, I believe, and Mr. Dave Chappelle doing your thing. Now, what is this image here?
This is at NASA in Houston. So it's my hometown, and we were doing shows at that time. It was right after Dave was going to release his, I think this is, like a week later, his next 2 specials were going to drop. That he'd filmed actually in Austin. So it was the first one. So it was his first return since he filmed them there. We made a tour stop in Houston. My friend Vinny from high school is a flight director at NASA. So I got us this super private tour of the premises and driving this really crazy car that goes sideways. Like Dave gets in the car, and we think it's just gonna drive out. No, he just goes sideways. Like it was changing. It was one of the I think it was like Mars vehicles. Unbelievable. It was really, really great experience. That's what we're doing. We're finding out about if there's aliens and if the Earth is flat or if the moon landing is real. Hashtag Curry.
Well, what were your conclusions on those? What were your conclusions on those?
It's outrageous. Yeah, my friend gets upset when I bring up any questions pertaining to those. Yeah.
Ironically,
Earth's not flat, it's round. I see it as round. I mean, this is what my eyes are seeing. If these are pictures are legit that I've been seeing over and over again, the moon is round, everything's round, it's round. You know?
Yeah, it seems like there's not much of a grounds for argument there.
Yes, I believe they made the moon landing.
Because you went chilled at NASA. Yeah. Like you're a NASA visitor. You know all
everybody
about this
can
shit.
do that. There's just the top. You could just walk up the top. He gave us a nice private tour. We got to walk into the capsules, and it was amazing. It was a fun time.
Shout out to NASA.
Shout out to NASA.
Now, you've been doing shows with Dave, but you've been doing shows for a long time. This is a picture, I think, of you, I think, pretty early on.
Yeah, this is in Kuwait, pre-war. My mom and my sister send me these things all the time. Specifically, I would think my sister, she's really nostalgic and she saves all the family photos, old family photos. So she sends them to me. I was like, oh, that's funny. I was like, what was I doing? And she's like, oh, you turn off the TV all the time and start messing around. And that's what that was from.
Love it. Now, obviously, you became sort of familiar with being in front of TV, but now you're on TV. And also you're on billboards, I believe, here, promoting the show.
This is very... Yeah, it is. That's I was. It was a moment. Like I think Joe Rogan's billboard was right before that. All the things that are being promoted at that time, and to see, I don't know. I felt weird when I was standing there. I was like, this is wow. You know, it was just like you work so long for 20 years for an opportunity, and to be there in that moment was special. Yes.
Hard work pays off, guys.
Yeah, man.
And sometimes it turns into a billboard.
Yeah. I mean, does it really matter that much? It's this big screen with a billboard. It is definitely a moment. Anyway, I don't need to linger on this thing too much longer.
I don't feel like that you do either, because we have another moment to discuss.
All right.
Which is the long road and the hard work that came before this.
It's my Mexican years.
Tell us about your Mexican years.
This was at the Laugh Stop. I'm trying to remember what year it was. Probably like 2000. Yeah, about 2000.
Doing your thing.
Sounds about right, yeah. Doing stuff.
Early look.
Early look. I was 19 at that time. Who does that? The chin strap. It was kind of in at that time, though.
The chin strap with the bowl cut actually is the next look.
Yeah, it's the next look.
That's what the streets are telling me.
This was just a moment in time. Hector's no longer with us. This is it.
Hector, R.I.P.
R.I.P.
But you were part of the path.
Yeah,
part of the travels that were taken. Cool. Well, that was
Tommy Chong behind me. That's like perfect.
Oh yeah, you do got a little Tommy Chong moment right there.
No, that's the famous Laugh Stop. That's no longer there anymore. But all those posters that they had up. I mean, you see all these names that are there. It's incredible. I mean, those years when I first started, it was like Chappelle coming through, C.K. coming through, Brian Regan coming through. My God, Doug Stanhope, Attell. You know, this is the spot where you got to see some of the greats come through. Mitch Hedberg come through. Rogan also at that time he recorded his first album there. Mitch did as well. It was cool. I think Bert. I talked to Bert 2 days ago. He said the same thing. It's an iconic place, and they would have all these across the wall. Like Bill Hicks was back there. Sam Kinison. I mean, it was incredible to have that history there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Aside from the Mexican dudes standing in front of me.
Straight up. Well, that was the Instagram. You know, we let the kids know what the hell's going on.
That's it.
We like to take a moment to shout out our sponsors here. We got Candy Pens. They make amazing vaporizers. I smoke the Ruby. I think it's lit. We also shout out our weed sponsor, Swami Select. They make fine cannabis from the Mendocino County up north. I think it works all right.
It works just fine.
Yeah, I think it works just fine, guys. It gets a A+. Now, we kind of checked in with the Instagram. We chatted about some fun things. We also like to check in with the world as a whole. We do a segment called Roll the News. We talk about some things that are happening in the headlines. Big one out of New York today.
What's up?
Governor Cuomo is prioritizing cannabis legalization in New York now. It's one of his goals for the first 100 days of his candidacy. Now, that's a little bit of a flip-flop for Governor Cuomo, because he's also been on the record saying some pretty nasty things about cannabis and cannabis decriminalization. But now, I think post-election, there was a lot of contenders that were biting at his heels, and New Jersey is about to go legal. So now Cuomo's flip-flopping. He's saying that he's down, and he's going to try to make it happen in 100 days. What do you think?
What do you think is going to happen?
I'm a long-time New York guy. I think legal weed in New York is going to be a crazy thing. I think it's gonna make a whole other energy out there.
Yeah.
I think it will be interesting how they try to regulate it and police it, and like how public spaces will play a role in all that.
I mean, it's basically decriminalized there at this moment in time.
Right.
I also think that I understand it's better. Yeah, it's just a complicated issue. I mean, so many layers to it to me. Involved in it, like what is, as far as like, is it better than pharmaceutical? What is it? How does it work? What's best for you truly? What's actually being tested, not tested? And I just think about all that as well. So I would be happy to see it. It's already like decriminalized in New York City. You can't smoke it in the street. Obviously, you can't do that here. You're not supposed to do that here. You know, so it's just. I think it's gonna happen. I think they're just resisting it for as long as they can, but eventually it's going to pass.
And so I think Cuomo's tapping out. He's like, all right, you got me. I'm going to join. I'm going to follow suit on this one. I also my main analysis has been it's the Jersey point. It's that New Jersey was going to beat New York to it.
Right.
And that then all of a sudden people started feeling tight about it.
Right.
The only thing they hate more than I don't know what is losing to New Jersey.
When I see it being legalized in the South, that's it. It's over. Once like Louisiana legalizes it, once Texas legalizes it, I mean everybody else is gonna follow suit basically.
Yeah,
that's gonna happen.
Those are the real turning point states.
Right.
New York, they're pretty left wing.
You're gonna buy a pack of, instead of buying a pack of cigarettes, you're gonna buy a pack of weed pre-regulate for $10. You'll just get a little swag or something. It'll just be a regular thing next to the Marlboros. It'll be just next to it.
Well, one day that future may come, and Governor Cuomo now can go on the record saying he's on board with it, trying to make it happen. Right. Speaking of changing things, we also have a story about Colorado Senator Cory Gardner. He's trying to attach a cannabis banking bill to the criminal justice bill that's passing the Senate, that they're trying to pass in the Senate. So Senator Gardner from Colorado, obviously, he knows the cannabis businesses are right in his backyard, trying to allow banking regulations to change so people can actually do things with their money, as opposed to having to stay in the cash, which makes a whole other variety of logistical problems. Have you chilled in Colorado before?
I have. I absolutely love Denver.
Love Denver.
Colorado in general. I've been like Colorado Springs. I mean, one of the first gigs was like in Grand Junction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great experience there. I did shows at Comedy Works, one of the best clubs in the country. They have 2 locations, I believe, and then the amphitheater there, the Red Rocks. I did it there in 2015 with Dave. I opened for him there. I had no idea what we were walking into. It was just absolutely stunning.
Yeah,
stunning
wild,
place.
huh?
Yeah. And the people are great.
Also the dispensaries. Let's talk about the dispensaries for a second. Do you think they've got their cannabis sorted out in Colorado?
I mean, it looks to be very organized.
Right. Yeah, it seems like
it looks
organized.
like since they were the first. Look, they were the first to the market, right? So they've gone through a lot of trial and error. They've seen what works for them, not works for them. I mean, I think they're just ahead of the curve right now.
Ahead of the curve, Denver. Yeah. Well, their senators trying to keep up with being ahead of the curve, trying to change things, making banking a little easier. Let's hope it doesn't mess up the criminal justice bill that's much more important that needs to be passed. The third story comes from the world's favorite talking point of Vladimir Putin. He hates drugs, he hates weed, and he also hates rap music. He is proposing that the Russian government should regulate hip-hop music and
Is that
rap.
true?
That is real. This is a real headline.
Did he say it? He was sitting there like, look, I don't like Tupac. I don't want to hear any of my kids listening to Tupac. The translator over the actual speech. Like, Juicy, I don't want to hear one guy singing Juicy one moment. I love you, Big Poppa. What does he say? He says it's not right. Is that what was happening?
I think
Did you see that footage?
I think the real answer is that
Somebody-
Putin needs to start rapping.
I mean, did he
if
move
he's-
his lips to this stuff? That's what I want to know. This is real.
I think that a channel that just did rap songs that were fake made with Putin's mouth. I think that's a business model. I think there's a business model there.
Oh man, I don't know. I'd have to see him make that speech. So what are the lists? The list is hip hop. What else? Which is hilarious.
Oh, he hates hip hop primarily because it is all about drugs, sex, and protest. There was a music producer who's a part of Putin's crew.
Yeah.
He said it's totally everywhere, and this is wrong. It's wrong that our radio stations put it on the air. He said of the narcotic content with quote unquote cocaine flair. He hates that cocaine flair.
I mean, just have a happy medium. MC Hammer all the time.
MC Hammer all the
MC
time.
Hammer, what's wrong with MC Hammer? LL Cool J, just maybe go super old school with it.
Old
Just
school,
go old school
for
hip-hop.
the kids.
Just let's see.
Safe,
let's
playing
see.
it safe.
Let's just do that. I don't know if it's for real. I don't know. You can't stop that. I mean, it's
Russian government regulated
everywhere.
rap. I mean, that could be a whole new genre, though.
he has
you
a
know what I
point
mean?
about certain hip hop thing. I know what he's talking about though. When he says that, part of me is like, yeah, I get it. Some of those songs, like I don't.
It's raw.
Yeah.
It gets real raw.
I mean, like to me, like Black Thought's one of the illest. To have there's real lyricists, real hip hop, Mos Def, yes, of course, Yassine Bey, I mean, Talib Kweli. I mean, this is beautiful hip hop, man.
yeah, real
Beautiful,
music.
real music.
Putin's
man.
just listening to the wrong station.
Just listen to the wrong shit, man. That's it.
Putin.
Look, Putin, you need to just find the right hip hop for you. I get it.
yeah, it's
You know,
not.
everybody not everybody.
Everybody doesn't like eating everything.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's it. Just figure it out, bro.
There's the
I'm
pizza and the
sure you'll
burger.
like it. Yeah.
There's the pasta. You know, there's like a borscht soup.
Yeah.
Probably in Russia.
Just be like, do you know that Juicy is a song about you, bro?
that would change his
He
mind.
could
maybe.
relate to it. I mean,
Who can't relate to that?
guy didn't just become this leader out of nowhere. He came from the block. Does he have the same number? Is it all good?
These are important questions that Putin needs to ask himself before he takes radical action in trying to regulate rap music in the country of Russia.
That's it.
I mean, dude, you're a far out guy, but that's just too far out.
It'd be funny next week to see Kanye just with a meeting with Putin. That'd be great.
I would say that Kanye is not below that. I would say that like that is.
I mean, is
something
it
that
below
could,
it? He's still world leader. Everybody's meeting world leaders. Everybody's meeting all the time. I mean,
saying hi.
it's just the choice. Whether it doesn't mean that you're the same as the other person. If you go visit that, if he has a certain way of operating, just because I hang out with you or talk to you just to find out what you're saying, doesn't mean that I am like the person I'm meeting. I can still hold my own.
You can be your
views.
still individual with your own views. That being said, if that person is fundamentally doing things that are contrary to your beliefs,
Right. How am I going to resolve anything if I just don't talk to you at all?
I think that's pretty good point.
That's it.
Guys,
That being said,
Talking
listen
is
to a
key.
little bit of hip hop.
Yes.
Come
Kanye
on,
West.
yeah, Biggie, come
Kanye
on.
West featuring Vladimir Putin. Guys, that will drop eventually. I mean, we're almost there. We're almost there.
He should do it.
He should do it. Kanye, hit up V Putin. He's down.
Might as well. What do you have to lose at this point? Fuck it.
Yeah. What do you have to lose, buddy? Not very much.
You wouldn't take it, but if Putin called you tomorrow, you'd be like, "Why don't you come meet with me?" You wouldn't say like, "Yeah, I'll come." Would you? Would you?
Well,
take
I
it or
mean, if
not?
he wanted to come on the show and smoke weed with me, that would be a definite yes.
He's not going to do that. He's going to talk to you about your weed smoking, and he's going to have a tongue lasher for you. Whatever it is, he wants to have dinner. You wouldn't just like.
I will say the dinner is probably pretty dope.
I would go to the dinner, but only if I could bring like 4 people.
+3, me +3.
Me plus 3. For
Deal,
sure.
but me +3.
Very strategically chosen 4 people. You know, maybe one of them's an attorney. I don't know. I just would I would just feel comfortable. Like, hey, you know, you can't just roll up on me with 7 people. I'm gonna roll up on you with 4.
Now, you
just
mentioned
balance
an
things
attorney.
out.
Do you have? Who do you think? Who is on your top three? Who's those three? Who's rolling with you to your?
I don't know, man.
Your dinner with Putin.
Robert De Niro. I would ask Robert De Niro to join me. That'd be the first guy I would say. That's all I need is Robert De Niro.
Really? Actually, three.
De Niro,
or if De Niro's
Ray
available, just
Liotta,
one.
Ray Liotta, and Joe Pesci. That's what I would want to go to the meeting with.
Some real wise guys.
Just some New York. That's it.
Coming strong with the New York Putin.
We'll be good.
Yeah. We can chill. We can have dinner. Hit us up with the deets. Let us know when it's going down. Is he doing a New Year's Eve party, you think?
I'm certain of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know the details, but I'm certain he is.
Will someone send us the details of the Vladimir Putin New Year's Eve party? And I want to know what's going on there. Well, how do they get down? Because they're definitely not listening to rap music.
I already have plans.
Does
he just listen to Frank Sinatra the whole time? You think? What kind of music do you think Putin listens to?
This is a deep topic. I don't think I have a.
Do you think Putin's walking around all the time? Is just singing Dean Martin all the time? Do you think he's doing that?
Your guess is as good as mine.
I feel like he's a Dean Martin guy. He probably has some like really dope ass Russian anthems as he listens to all the time.
I agree with that actually. Vladimir, share your Spotify playlist with the world. Do you have a Spotify playlist? Vladimir Putin shared Spotify playlist. We want it.
I feel like he wakes up to the national anthem every morning.
Yeah.
Like at 4 a.m., it just has giant speakers that's his alarm in the morning.
He keeps it lit.
I think he sleeps with his eyes open.
Also not impossible. I mean, he's got the weird like gun draw limp. That's like a pretty pimp limp.
I haven't paid attention to his walk as well as maybe I should have, but
he's got a pimp limp.
Yeah. All right.
That's all I got to say.
Pimp limp.
Now, Mo.
Yes.
Putin, he's quite a guy. He hates rap. He was on our installment of Roll the News today on About That Time. What we also try to do on About That Time is check in with the stars. We do your horoscope. We do something we call Astrology Time.
Okay.
We go to another dimension.
All right.
We just make sure that the heavenly bodies are aligned with us. We turn on our salt crystal lamp.
This is hilarious.
We get the energy going. It becomes astrology time. So what? Do you read your horoscope? Do you read your horoscope at all?
I don't read my horoscope. The only thing I read is fortune cookies.
Now, how do you feel about fortune cookies?
I mean, it's just fun. They're just crispy. I like if you can get some vanilla ice cream with it. They're firm enough to scoop.
Oh yeah.
Just gotta make sure the vanilla ice cream
that's a pretty good look.
If you can get that, if you can make that happen,
that's what
nice
I think
about
combo,
fortune cookies. The crunch, they're a good garnish.
Oh.
Why not?
Ice cream garnish. Shout out fortune cookies. Now, you understand how the horoscope works, though. They say, oh, you do this, oh, you do that, blah, blah, blah. We took some lines from your horoscope.
I do read, man. I'm sorry.
No, of course. I appreciate that.
I do read. I know horoscopes. I'm familiar with it. I just have, go ahead. Please.
I love it.
Let's do it.
We're not
going to get into a philosophical debate about horoscopes.
No, but we do have a set of phrases from your horoscope. You can just tell us if you think they're on point or not. Because, that's the thing with the horoscope. Sometimes it's full of shit, sometimes it ain't.
Let's do it.
Does not acknowledge the possibility of a failure.
Is this just is this just today's horoscope?
Oh, this is actually
just the whole
your birthday, your birth chart.
Amazing first line.
You down? You think it's on point?
Say it again.
Unwilling to acknowledge the possibility of failure.
Oh, unwilling to acknowledge the possibility?
Possible.
Again, this
failure
opens
is not
the debate.
Never an option.
Yeah, I mean, yes. Do I work hard and aim for a goal? Absolutely, yes.
We work hard and aim for a goal.
Failure is not an option. You get back up and
keep on going.
Take those gut punches with the best of them.
Totally.
And you focus on your breathing and you keep it moving. Keep it moving!
Yeah, keep it gut first,
That's it. What's next?
As a parent, prefers to be regarded more as a buddy than a disciplinarian. Would you say you have like a friendly approach?
I would say I have a friendly approach for the most part. Yeah, for the most part. But I also believe that, different circumstances call for different measures, right? So you can't always just walk, listen,
right?
You need to just clean your room, all right?
Yeah.
Let's just, hey, this is the 12th time I've asked you to lock the door. You know what I mean? Yeah. No. I said lock the door about 12, you want to be nice, but you have to at some point.
You have to know when to.
Maybe not that aggressive, but on the inside, that's how I feel.
Yeah, it's hard to sometimes.
On the outside, it's like, lock the door.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think that's reasonable. Door locking is important.
Never worked. Never worked. You know what I had to do? Buy an automatic locking device for my door. I had to change the entire lock to ensure that the door would get locked all the time.
Oh, wow. But that's
how
problem solving. It's like there could, how do you eliminate conflict? You solve a problem.
That's it. There you go.
So
failure is not an option.
Failure is not an option, guys. This family going to be happy, and that door is going to be locked. We can have it all. All right. Number 3, from your horoscope, possesses a remarkable athletic grace. That is the envy of his friends.
I would agree. If I didn't have so many injuries, and I would probably be like, no. I love sports, man. I grew up with like 7 other amazing brothers from my neighborhood that are forever my family, and we used to play basketball and football and baseball. We played everything. Other groups in the neighborhood. I mean, we had a very competitive area that we lived in, and crews would play other crews. Like, it was a thing. So I've always loved being active and playing. I miss those days.
Now, did the crews have names?
Yeah, we're from West Wind neighborhood, so we just always say West Wind. We're West Wind crew. It was just like this silly thing, It's what we were. We were from that.
But I wasn't fully like on a Warriors level where you guys had like outfits and.
No, hell no.
It was
just made fun of if you did that shit.
Just a friendly game
of
baseball.
Are you all matching? The fuck, the streets would murder you, or you walk up, everybody's in the same fucking headband. Oh, it'd be a wrap. It'd be a wrap. No, that's not the case.
No uniforms.
Yeah, no. I had a Hakeem Elijah. No, we didn't dress like that. So when you see us, you'd underestimate us, and then we rock you. I showed up with Hakeem Olajuwon shirt. Maybe he has a spaghetti stain. Maybe he has a giant spaghetti stain. But you never think that I have a jumper or any post game. And then next thing you know, Vinny's making threes in your face. I know it's ambiguous, but these are the homies I grew up with, and I think you understand what I'm saying.
I feel what you're talking about. Now, going back to the jealousy component, though, were there any of these games in which you achieved an athletic feat that others were jealous of?
Athletic feat that others were jealous of? I mean, come on.
Did you hit, like, the ultimate home run ever?
I mean, we played a lot of games. Everybody had game-winning shots, man. You're talking about hundreds of games we probably played. Yeah, we had, like, really... I would say I excelled at throwing the football. That's something that I excelled at. I could throw just very accurate,
You got that spiral down.
Spiral, accuracy, distance. For a moment, it was like that. I'm going to get made fun of from my crew for even saying that. It'd be like, oh shit, Mo put it on blast.
Is there going to be a call out? Yeah. There might be a call out, Mo. But it's important to put it out there. Let the people know what's going on. We have one more from your horoscope tonight.
Let's do it.
They may often change jobs and even careers.
Well, I've been doing this for 20 years, so that's off.
Horoscope, you missed that one. Mo has been keeping it real, steady and solid, 20 years straight.
Or even careers. Yeah, never have. No, that's definitely not the option. That goes back to number 1. So this doesn't even make sense.
Doesn't even make sense.
No.
All right. Well, look, that's the point of the exercise.
Yeah.
Horoscope.
I like it.
We checked in. Astrology Time. We checked in around the world. We checked in with the stars. We're just checking the boxes.
That's it.
Making sure that everybody gets all the important information that they need. Now, speaking of important information, Mo,
okay.
Before we wrap up here on About That Time, we like to give you a chance to let everybody out there know what they should be checking for on the horizon.
Oh, well, that's great. So, global warming. It's the biggest.
That's real talk right there.
I mean, ice caps is melting. It's almost done, y'all. You need to move. We all need to move to Kansas. Very centrally. No, I have a special on Netflix called The Vagabond. Check that out. I'm touring. I'm starting to tour right away, mid-January, starting in Raleigh. And then from Raleigh, I'm going to Toronto and Irvine, La Jolla. It's going to be
a party.
Full tour.
Guys,
yeah,
Mo is coming to see you. Delivery Mo.
That's it.
Ultimately, Delivery Mo.
That's it.
Check out Vagabond. Go see him live in your city. It's lit. Mo, thanks so much for coming through, sir.
Yo, thank you so much for having me.
Mary Jane, About That Time.
Peace. A-Leaf.